Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, very many people subscribed to the channel as I had requested as a birthday present, and I'm here to say thank you very much. Those who are watching us for the first time, allow me to request you with humility to subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. There is some startling news that is coming from Mount Kenya. It is our deputy president, Gachagwa'S, again. Credible information is saying that Gachagwa'S is on a revenge mission because recently he called some chiefs and assistant chiefs at night to give them a sack notice. He sacked them, in short, just by a phone call. And when I got this information, I tried to dig deep into what exactly is happening. And I realized that the genesis of this story began when the deputy president started claiming that there was a lot of state capture in the previous administration. And they had accused several county commissioners and chiefs and assistant chiefs of trying to sabotage their bid to become the president. They used to say that Uhuru used some of the administrative officers to campaign against them and even frustrate those who are campaigning for the Kenya Kwanza. And then in their first UDA parliamentary meeting in Nairobi, they discussed several agendas, but one that I even analyzed on this channel that caught my eyes was that the MPs, the UDA MPs, urged William Ruto and Gachagwa'S to sack all those county commissioners who campaigned against them. And in that meeting, not only county commissioners were targeted, but even head of parastatals who campaigned against them were targeted. But William Ruto and Gachagwa'S were reported to have said that they wanted to forgive those who did not support them. In fact, they stated very publicly that they are men of God, and they also understand that these officers were being used by the previous government. In his own words, Gachagwa'S said that instead, what they want to do, they want to realign the administrative officers they want to arrange them to work in line with the Kenya Kwanza policies, where they shall not be used to settle any political scores. And we were relieved because we thought, wow, now they are not going to revenge. But then recently, the Secretary General of the Jubilee came up, I think it was on Inor FM, where he said that Gachagwa'S is intimidating chiefs and several chiefs. This is coming after Rigathi himself had said that he's the one who influenced the realignment of county commissioners. Recently there was some realignment, several of them were transferred. But then it is now coming out that it was not only transferring the public officers, but there were some who have been sacked, others have been suspended, others who are still working are really working in fear. Ladies and gentlemen, what is really happening with our deputy president? He has made headlines of late. If he can pick up a phone and call chiefs at night, ladies and gentlemen, what other thing can he do? We all understand that there were several things that were not right during the last campaigns. It could be true that some of these officers were used to campaign against William Ruto and Gachagwa'S. But it is not the first time this is happening, because even in 2017, headed by the then minister, the interior minister, Fred Matiang'i, campaigned for William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta against the chagrin of Raila Odinga, who was then heading the NASA brigade. But when they raised this issue, William Ruto told them off that apart from these officers having their offices to guard, they are also Kenyans and they have every right to support any political party. And so Rigathi should understand that these people were just obeying orders. The same way we have officers who are now obeying orders. And so experts are calling our deputy president to ensure that instead of now trying to revenge against those who campaigned against them, they should introduce some legal work so that we have officers who will not be intimidated by the powers that be. Because if we don't have a legal framework that is guiding and protecting our public officers, the same thing will remain. You will sack some of them today, but in every election cycle, they will still be aligning themselves and campaigning publicly to the powers, because they understand that maybe they don't have security of tenure, and if they have, the authorities have the powers to sack them. So our deputy president should be looking for bigger fishes to fry. Stooping low to start fighting with the chiefs and assistant chiefs is something that to me is going to make him lose focus. He's got better things to do. Recently, the president, his boss, added him even more powers. He should use them, for example, to start fighting for the rights of coffee farmers, because it is now under his docket. If he stoops too low to start now looking for assistant chiefs, then something is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. It also makes our officers work in fear, because you will be working in that office knowing very well that if you don't support the president and the deputy president, then whenever there is a regime change, those who take over, if you did not support their bid, then they will punish you and you will lose your job. The deputy president seems to be very much obsessed by this idea of becoming the Mount Kenya kingpin, and he's doing everything in his capacity to ascend to the power of being a kingpin. But in doing this, he is overstretching and overstepping his mandate, because it is now crystal clear that the only person who is standing on his way to becoming Mount Kenya kingpin is Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru still has those people who follow him, who believe in his political ideologies. And so he wants to wipe all of them. He's using this because he's just a man who's frustrated, he's angry, and so he's showing Uhuru Kenyatta that he wants to deal with him. And maybe by doing this, he feels that those who are not aligned to him will now come back to support him as a matter of fear. But in politics, let me tell you something. Try to convince people to support you. Don't intimidate them, because when they support you because of fear, immediately they get someone whom they can rely on as a savior. Then they will ditch you. So our deputy president should now change his political tactics, even if he wants to capture the kingship of Mount Kenya. He should not be intimidating them. The other day he said that he wants to wipe out all the cartels who worked with the president. And exactly that is what he is doing. But the question that is begging is this. The first request came in a UDA parliamentary meeting that was chaired by the president and co-chaired by the deputy president. But I have not seen the president intimidating any of them, because when they first took over office, I remember in Rift Valley, there were several intimidations. In fact, the Rift Valley County Commissioner was a man under siege. He was told to pack up and go. And Rift Valley is the backyard of the president. But it seems that the president has come to reality, and he does not want to interfere with them. But Rigathi Gachagua is on a path of revenge, and Kenyans are watching. I have not seen the president calling him to order. And the reason being, I think the president has left Rigathi Gachagua to roast himself. He's doing several things that is going to be very detrimental to his political career. The president has left his deputy, to craft enmity between himself and every other person. be it the Nairobi governor. Just under the guise of fighting for his people, he has created an enmity between them. Every Sunday, the deputy president will attack Raila Amolo Odinga, and this has created a rift between him and even the Azimio supporters. So, should anything happen, experts are saying that with the current political developments that are taking place, where the president seems to be grooming Mudavadi, if he decides maybe in 2027 to ditch Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, he will have nowhere to run. So the deputy president is being advised to stop for a moment and rethink, because he seems to be headed into political oblivion. Where will he channel his energy next? He has started with the chiefs and the assistant chiefs. Is he now going to target other commissioners and other parastatal chiefs? This is something that should be condemned in the strongest terms possible, because people will live in fear. We should have a deputy president who is a president in waiting. When the president is not around, he is the president in waiting. He takes charge. And that office of the president is a symbol of national unity. Instead of uniting people, he seems to be on a vengeful mission. He's avenging and he wants people to meet his wrath. This is not correct politically. This administration had promised that when they take over office, they will serve all with equity. And they had said that they will not repeat the same mistakes that they accused the previous administration of performing. And so we are shocked to hear that Rigathi Gachagua is calling administrative officers at night to threaten them, to sack them. Maybe the president should be called to help in this situation, because we do not know whether next it will be the journalist who did not support him. You never know. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take.